I want to start with a story we are following closely to do with an agreement signed between Ghana and Ivory Coast. Now, Cocoa Board is assuring farmers of some exciting times ahead in terms of getting more for produce. The promise is based on a new agreement reached with its major counterparts in Africa. The Ivory Coast, JoyNews has just returned from the Ivory Coast and has the rest of the story.
The chief executive's promise is based on several measures that has been implemented in recent times, which he believes would go a long way to turn around the fortunes of farmers. Key among them is the agreement on having common standards for cocoa exports and harmonizing their trading system. The deal, which was signed in Ivory Coast this week after several months of negotiations, Joseph Boahini Edu says the deal is very critical to the industry.
Recognizing the general interest in the production of sustainable and traceable cocoa in the cocoa value chain, taking note of the paramount importance placed on quality, sustainability, and traceability in the value chain, cognizant of the fact that the international cocoa prices do not take into account the massive efforts required from cocoa farmers in complying with the strict demands of consumers in the production of sustainable and traceable cocoa, aware of the efforts of international bodies in introducing different certification schemes.
He later told Joy Business that they are bent on ensuring that farmers get value for money.
We are not against the standard that ISO and SEN intend bringing up, but we are against some aspects. And those aspects where we don't have agreement, that's where we have disagreement, that's where we want to work on. Because if we allow those aspects where we have disagreement to, pass, eventually they will affect our farmers. So we are working on aspects of the international, standards organization.
The Director General of Ivory Coast Cocoa Regulator, that is Le Conseil du Café Cacao, Kone Brahma, said they are worried about the current pricing structure, which doesn't favor them.
Les services de normalisation du Ghana, les services qui sont au Cocoa Board, qui s'occupent de la normalisation, et les services du Conseil du Café Cacao, qui s'occupent de la normalisation, vont se mettre ensemble pour travailler sur la norme que nous voulons améliorer pour l'ensemble des parties prenantes. Vous savez,
the technical committees of Cocoa Board and the Conseil du Café Cacao have been asked to fast-track the process for the agreement to be finalized. We control more than 60% of the cocoa market, and it's unfortunate that we cannot influence prices, and this is what we want to address.
Nous avons un programme, nous avons des délais qui leur ont été fixés, et je pense que d'ici un délai que je ne voudrais pas vous indiquer, nos services techniques du Ghana et de Côte d'Ivoire vont arriver à une norme qui va satisfaire les intérêts de nos producteurs, parce que c'est ça d'abord, les intérêts des producteurs de Côte d'Ivoire, les intérêts des producteurs de la Côte d'Ivoire. Nous avons le devoir de les protéger.
It has always been argued that looking at Ghana's premium cocoa, the country should be getting more than what the market is offering. For some industry players, the move by Ghana and Ivory Coast will not come easy, looking at the stance of some of the giant players in the industry who have in the past resisted all attempts by these producers to get fair prices for their produce. From Abidjan in Ivory Coast, JoyNews reporting.
Our General Secretary of the General Agricultural Workers Union, GAU, that is Edward Caraway, has lauded the initiative, saying it could cut down on smuggling to and from the two countries. He tells Joy Business Ghana and Ivory Coast can also extend to a joint production agreement to enhance production and impact prices.
Two countries, Cote d'Ivoire and Ghana, they are the two major producing countries in the world. In terms of cocoa. So they are supposed to be controlling the cocoa market. Unfortunately, that is not the case. The pricing is determined by someone somewhere. Now, it is important that the two countries and other countries come together to give a common price. Now, the common price could be two. One, the price in Cote d'Ivoire and the price in Ghana. If the price in Cote d'Ivoire and the price in Ghana is the same, then certainly it would discourage smuggling from each country. We often hear that cocoa is smuggled into Cote d'Ivoire because the price in Cote d'Ivoire is higher. And another time you hear that cocoa is being smuggled into Ghana because the price in Ghana is higher. So the two countries need to actually collaborate and find common grounds. Certainly their collaboration cannot resolve all the challenges, but it will reduce those challenges, and I think that is in order that the two countries are collaborating, not only in pricing, but even production experiences and so on. And also, the most important thing is to collaborate to be able to deal with the international market, because we need to control the marketing of cocoa, but unfortunately, it's being determined by somebody else. It's just because we are divided. So if producing countries, particularly Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire and other West African producers and other producers somewhere come together, then they will be able to dictate to a large extent the price for cocoa in the global market, because it has to do with demand and supply. And in this case, the two countries who are the major suppliers in the global market could constrain supply, release little of their cocoa into the market, and therefore demand will go up, and then store the rest or process the rest.
Well, away from cocoa, let's talk about the city. It's been in the news today, and well, let's start from the Ashanti region, where small-scale importers in Kumasi are angry at what they say is the negative impact of high duties and the depreciation of the local currency on their businesses. The agitators who vented their frustration at a press conference said most of them who bring in goods from neighboring countries are harassed on the highways by customs and other security personnel. Love FM's Kwesi Deborah was there in our reports.
Nana Osuajman says the importers have drawn attention of relevant authorities without any response.
We are now pleading on our listening government, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo Dankwa, to reduce high import values. Also, to use the original invoices that we use to buy goods at our various points of sales to write duty for us. Also, to work on the fast city depreciation. Also, to stop the use of US dollar to write duty on the goods which we bought with CIF or CIFA for us. The last but not the least, to eliminate all illegal barriers and set points with immediate effect. Our calls are not going through, especially the phone numbers we provided to them at our first engagement. When we use unknown numbers to call them, at the end of the calls, when we use unknown numbers to call them, they end our calls. And when we follow up and get to know it is us, they also hang up on us.
Meanwhile, the two associations say their members will be compelled to hit the streets if government fails to address their grievances by end of this month.
We are of high hope that the President, Nana Akufo-Addo Dankwa, will hear our plea. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, we, the members of the above-mentioned associations, are giving ourselves now till the end of this month, March 2019. If nothing is done, we will hit the streets in a grand style. We promise the government we will do. Thank you.
Kwesi Deborah reporting.
Well, the fall of the cedi is affecting almost everything, even the price of bread. Now, some bakeries in Accra have supported the decision to increase prices of bread and other pastries. They say prices of the major ingredients used in the production of bread have all gone up significantly as a result of the cedi's depreciation. Alberta Bisu has been engaging some bakers and has come through with this report.
The loaf of bread you buy for 5 cedis may soon increase to 6 cedis. Bread dealers in Accra are expecting price increases from Monday. According to some bakers, the increase is very obvious since most of the ingredients used in production have increased as a result of the cedi's depreciation. Some bakers at Kotobabi, a suburb of Accra, say prices of ingredients like margarine, flour, sugar, firewood and yeast have all gone up.
I have increased my bread because flour has also been increased. They said that wheat we use in baking the bread is imported. Therefore, the cedi depreciation has affected the import of wheat. After it has been processed into flour at Tema, they increase it as well. Though the other ingredients are being increased, it doesn't cause an increase in the price of bread until flour is increased. I use cooked margarine, which is imported. It has also been increased, but we bear the cost of the other ingredients.
Emilia Maika is the owner of Baby's Bakery at Kotobabi. She maintains she'll have to observe the market critically first to make any changes to either the price or size of the bread.
Before I increase, I'll speak to the customers first. Oh, this is how products has been increased, so I'm going to increase mine from this to that. Or even if not the increased, I'm going to reduce the size of the bread. Butter, sugar, brown, and tea bread. So either reducing the size or increasing the price of the bread, whichever one is okay with them. In no time, prices are going to change, and also sizes are going to change.
Another bread wholesaler, Ladia Nada, lamented customers complain a lot about the size, and this has affected her business.
The increase in the price of flour has affected the size of bread, and people are not willing to buy anymore. Some even complain about the size, but you see, that is not our fault. If the market is good, I can sell between 30 to 40 loaves of bread, but now I have reduced the quantity as a result of the increase.
We are 20 Ghana be was so and I say 15 Ghana be waiting. No way you better do an They said on Matumunu, Meji 25. Back 25. I know the Okoton we are. She be and that's cost 25 and that's.
They are appealing to government to help reduce cost of flour to facilitate the growth of their business. Some are even threatening to demonstrate if government does not intervene. Alberta Bisu's report for Joy Business.
Well, I guess we have to start readjusting our budget for breakfast. And you had the bakers there talking about the cost of flour. Well, we've been speaking to the public relations officer of the Takoradi Flour Mill, Percy Boche. He has confirmed the company is currently enjoying the harsh effects of the cedi's depreciation. He was speaking with our Western Regional correspondent in Natalia Kwanzaa.
For now, business has not been very good, as a matter of fact. And I don't think it's Takoradi Flour Mill alone. I think it's affecting all the industries that are in the playfield. Basically, our problem has been with the dollar. The cedi is depreciating at a rate we cannot sustain anymore. Basically, I can tell you if you want me to use some figures, but as of December, the dollar, we were changing the dollar for 4.87. But as I speak to you today, we are around 5.6, 5.7, which is quite a lot. That is actually what is killing the industry. Apart from that, we can also talk about the wheat we import from Canada. The commodity price is also changing because you know, the world economy is not very good for everybody. I would say in December the price was about $307 per ton, but around this time it's about $322 per ton. It's actually affecting business.
Well, everybody feeling the pinch of the city's fall, but we've got some reassuring words from the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta. He says he expects the city to stabilize with the huge capital inflows into the economy in the coming weeks. Bloomberg has described Ghana's currency as the cheapest in Africa as the city hit a record low of 5 cedis, 77 pesos to the dollar today. Speaking to journalists yesterday, Mr. Ofori-Atta said government has launched the Eurobond, which is expected to raise some $3 billion.
Really, I'm very, very confident that a reversal is going to occur and that it's going to be pretty stable going forward. We have about $300 million coming in from Cocoa Board, another $600 million also from Cocoa Board in about a month or so. Today, as you know, we launched our Eurobond officially, which will be $3 billion, and that should close, you know, within the next couple of weeks or so. In the interim, we've also gone through Parliament of a bridge of 500 to 750 million that would ensure that there's a smooth transition going forward. But I think what foreign exchange is always a price, the demand and supply. And your challenge really as a country is how to structurally change in terms of our imports versus our exports. I think we are too import dependent, and we need to find strategies to change that. Always will always be battling. It doesn't matter which government, with how the Bank of Ghana should intervene or not intervene. I think last year the Bank of Ghana came through for about $1.8 billion of intervention. In the first quarter last year, they did about $200 million. I mean, this quarter we've done about 90 million as we watch our reserves position.
Okay, so some reassuring words from the Finance Minister there. We've been asking about what you think about what he said, whether you're confident that things would really stabilize in the coming 2 weeks when, of course, that money is pumped into the economy. And this is the outcome of the poll tonight. 37% saying that they think it would happen, 63% saying they don't think that would happen. And so largely, most people do not believe in what the Finance Minister is saying. Let's pick the thoughts of economists with Data Bank, Courage Mate, who joins us to react to this. So most people think that, based on our poll, this wouldn't be the reality in 2 weeks. What do you make of the Finance Minister's assurances?
Darrell, I think what essentially the Finance Minister is trying to say, particularly with reference to 2 weeks, is the inflows that will come. Now, once the inflows come through, we expect the exchange rate to respond. I mean, ideally, in a very efficient market, you would expect that this information entering the market should start being priced into the market, and then we should see the currency approaching or trying to regain some values, but it hasn't started yet. And so what we would wait to see is the inflows and then the effective injection onto the market to bridge the gap, the funding gap, and then we'll start seeing the city gaining some strength and restoring some stability. But I am confident that in the short-term outlook, right, when these inflows come through, we should see some short-term anchor to stabilize the city.
All right.
The big question is always in the long run.
The big question always in the long run. We'll have a conversation about that. Thanks very much indeed, Courage Mate. So he's essentially saying that this is a short-termish approach. What happens in the long run? Thanks very much for your thoughts tonight. And that'll be it for our program tonight here on JoyNews Business Live. Thanks for watching. My name is Darrell Kwa. We will be returning same time tomorrow with some more business news. Do stay tuned.